Well, it's Wednesday again, so it's time for Mr. Nailsin's Wednesday Comics, and taking a break from current comics to look back at the Green Goblin again, the original stories. And, of course, reading it from Marvel Tales, which was the reprint comic book series that I read in the 80s. Despite my age, I didn't exist when this was originally published in Amazing Spider-Man, So anyway, as the title says, bring back my goblin to me. So let's do just that. I should have concluded this during October for the Halloween week, I guess, or month, I mean. But I didn't get around to it, So anyway, there we go. Oh, look, it is the title, Bring Back My Goblin to Me. Well, yeah. Just as the mysterious crime master prepares to take command over the city's gangs, a startling interruption takes place as the gloating Green Goblin brings in an unconscious prisoner. How's that for a one-sentence resume of last month's 20-page thriller?
I warned you that I'd never let anyone take over as gang lord of the city. Even the crime master shall serve the Green Goblin.
The Goblin was Spider-Man, still alive. But I thought I had killed him.
Some of you men get up here. I caught Spider-Man. Now, see if you can hold him.
See, originally an Amazing Spider-Man, 27. So anyway, if you dig an action-packed, old-fashioned cops and robbers mystery yarn, this one is for you. But even if you don't like this kind of story, read it anyway. It may just change your mind. There's the attitude. So, here we go. Imagine the Goblin beating Spider-Man. Hey, what gives? This plastic mask won't come off. Forget it. We'll worry about that later. First, get him chained up before he comes to. The one thing you need to know, but we'll worry about that some other time. There won't be. There never is. Anyway,
too bad, my double-crossing friend. This will knock your plans to get control of the mobs into a cocked hat, whatever.
Don't bet on it, Goblin. I'm not licked yet.
I wasn't going to lick you. Oh, no! Tell him how wrong he is, my new underlings.
We're taking orders from the Goblin and no one else. Anyone who can capture Spider-Man can boss me around any day. Get lost, masked man. You're a has-been around here. And as the mobsters shout, none pay any attention to one among them known as Patch, the police informer we met last issue. Now that we picked our new boss, let's finish off that webhead. It looks bad for Spider-Man, unless the police show up soon. I wonder if they got my tip.
So anyway, bring him over here. We'll celebrate my new reign by unmasking him and then finishing him off for good.
Just in time, Goblin. He's waking up. But we got nothing to worry about as long as he's chained good and tight. The gas, which knocked me out, is finally wearing off, but from the looks of things around here, I was, better off asleep. Gee, I probably should have skipped ahead a little more when you're reading the whole thing here. In fact, yeah, I'd better go ahead and do that. Yeah, there we go. All right, he breaks free, and then the Goblin has to get in a fight with him.
Blast it! If I ever find out who tipped off the cops. Spider-Man's free again! He's fully recovered. Dodged my goblin bomb. I'll lose myself in the crowd for a while.
Oof! I was gonna go after the Goblin, but I'd better not. The crime master's still gunning for me. He must figure this is his chance to grab control of the mobs again. Those officers are putting up a great fight against the hoods down there, but they can still use some help. And they're going to get it as soon as I set up my automatic camera. Priorities. He's got money to make, I might as well make this little session pay off for me. And now, ready or not, here I come. Well, we almost got a sight of Spider-Man. We're not. Heads up, playmates. Mind if I crash your little party? I'm just in time. Their backs are up against the wall. But, you were busy with your camera. Okay, he takes care of that. And then here comes the Goblin again. The Goblin, I wondered where you were. He's too dangerous. I was better off down below. But as Spidey drops back to the floor below the speed of thought, he sees, looks like the crime master just never gives up. But he can't hit me if I keep the crowd between us. That's just what I'll do. Hey, it's okay. There are other criminals, Then a few brief minutes later, we give up. We had it. We can't fight you cops and Spider-Man. Naturally, you punk. You only outnumbered us 10-1. Every good
general knows when it's time to when time comes to retreat. Yeah, that's what I was meant to say. And not a second too soon. He almost snared me with that sticky webbing of his.
I can't hope to catch the Goblin's jet flyer, but any self-respecting Spider-Man ought to be able to collar the crime master. I was double-crossed by the Goblin. My own mobs, and now even Spider-Man is after me. But I know this waterfront area better than anyone. If I can keep him at bay for another few minutes, I can yet escape. Well, for a crime master, he isn't much of a master of crime. So there he goes. I guess we'll skip ahead again. He's in the sewer now. I'm almost through, but I'd better play it safe, just in case he is following me somewhere behind me. Even if he is hidden beyond the curve of the pipe, this nerve gas will find him and rid me of him forever, just as it'll do to the Goblin when next we meet. And a short distance behind, gas fumes. Looks like I underestimated that masked murderer. But if I move fast enough, I'll be able to fashion a protective helmet out of my webbing, like this. Of course, he can't see, but then he's got spider sense, so I guess. I may not win first prize at a fashion show, but if I hold my breath, it'll help me make it through the gas. Whew, I hope it's not much further. Out of that little thing, it's the whole tunnel. I hope it's not much further, although I'd never admit it to my enemies. I can't hold my breath forever. That looks like a grating just ahead. Well, what do you know? I'm smack dab in the center of the city sewer system, a perfect place for a rat like the crime master. But he could have fled in any one of a dozen directions, and all the onrushing water is too much for my spider sense to cope with. Plus, the stench. Looks like I've lost him. Oh, wow, what are you gonna do? So, that's where we end in this story. The Goblin was teaming up with Crime Master here. And again, this is given a nod to later on in the Hobgoblin stories when the Hobgoblin teams up with the Rose, who also wore a mask. Well, it was purple, but anyway, similar. And basically a suit, So anyway, another little romp for the Green Goblin. Well, speaking of green, I did catch the Green Lantern from last week, but I didn't review it because I forgot, but also because that was a lot of comics for that episode. The Flash appears here, and unfortunately for the Flash, I'm probably going to drop that title. Not happy with the new creative team in that particular first issue. It was pretty awful. The art was great, but the presentation was not, and the story it's just got all the signs of going nowhere fast and being muddled and pretending it's greater than it really is. So anyway, here we have Green Lantern. It's Green Lantern 4, and it's not bad. There's nothing spectacular, really. It just added more to Sinestro's plan and stuff. And then they have some pretty good scenes of partnership between Green Lantern and the Flash. which you would expect since he's on there. And the Flash is presented here much better than his own title, which he really isn't. This is the Barry Allen, the original, well, the second Flash, if you will. It kind of sucks that there's no good Flash comic anymore. But anyway, and that's that. They catch up on old times and how things are going, and that sort of thing. So, they pair up some superheroes, and like Batman and Superman were always pairing up a lot. And with Green Lantern, they did put him with Green Arrow because they both have green in their names. But I think it was more to the point that he and the Flash were buddies and that sort of thing. And, just it's another mention of that. But that was primarily between Hal Jordan and Barry Allen. So there you go. It's an okay book, and it's just sort of padding out the story of Sinestro's plot and whatnot. And then you get a fun little adventure between Green Lantern and the Flash, which, again, was a better read than the Flash comic book, which unfortunately is gone to crap for the most part at the moment. It's only 2 issues in, but I won't be reading it. Got to make room. I mean, good Lord, you saw all the titles I had to do last week. Anyway, there we go. A green episode of Mr. Nailsin's Wednesday Comics. We'll see what it looks like next week.